You got a fetish for my
Hi there, welcome to another exciting session with Grab and Touch. My name is Ola. I love to share issues surrounding relocation, study abroad, and useful life hacks. If this interests you, you want to you want to share this to people, friends and families that you know that this will be useful to. And most importantly, you want to subscribe to this channel so that you're one of the few people to get to know when I drop new videos. Today we're going to be talking about very exciting topic, and this is affordable study destination 2. We've done one the previous week, so if you want to check one out, I've dropped it last week. But today we're going to be talking about affordable study destinations to focus on France and Quebec. You want to come along? So this was, prepared based on the response that we got from people wanting to go study abroad, but they're not able to afford the big four countries that we know. And so it's become important to look at other places. So if you're not able to, afford, the funding is a problem. You're not able to afford places, locations like destinations like Canada, US, UK, Australia. What are the other places are you able to look at? And most importantly, what are you required to do? What would you need to do to be able to, access these places? We checked Germany last week, and today we're talking about France and Quebec. So one of the connecting factor for these two locations is the French language. So French is spoken in more than 29 countries in the world, and France and Quebec happens to be, two of these countries. And when we check, we discover that many government offer tuition subsidies and scholarships to international French-speaking students. France and Quebec provide world-class education at lower tuition. If you compare them to US and the UK, where you cough out around £20,000 to study a year, these destinations are lower when it comes to their tuition, especially when it comes to French speaking international students. They go more lower. French proficiency significantly increases access to public universities, grants and scholarships. So basically, these scholarships are there. These grants are there in these countries. But if you are able to speak French, you are able to access it more. Now, most of these programs are taught in English, but because these locations, they are not fully English locations, so to speak. Locally, they have the local language, which is French. you know if you are able to speak French, you're able to access more opportunities, you're able to access more grants, more scholarship, just because that is what is in the in that location, and for people in that location. So if you're coming from somewhere else and you're actually able to speak to their language, you see you as somebody that is ready for integration, somebody that is really ready to stay in this location, and then you are able to access more opportunities in that part of the world. So we want to talk about why France is affordable. A lot of the universities, public universities in France, are subsidized by the government. Annual tuition fee for bachelors, ranges between £2,000 and €3,000. Pardon me, 2,000 to 3,000 euros. While for masters, you get around 3,000 to 4,000 euros. So if you compare this to 18 to 20,000 pounds that you go pay in the UK, you understand that these places are really subsidized, and they are places you will be able to get funding for quickly when you compare them to other places. Lower fees if you're also enrolled in French, and this is the catch. If you are just an English speaker, you would get to pay this fees. Now, if you can speak French, you get to reduce it more. You get lower tuition just because, just like I've explained, French opens more door in locations like this. That language opens more opportunities in locations like this. So living costs outside Paris are significantly cheaper. As you know, Paris is the capital of France. So cost of living is higher there when it compared to other places outside Paris. Like we said last week, you are going to look up location. When you're researching to go to this location, you want to start to research the locations where you have lower standard of living, as this will also help relieve you of a lot of pressure during your international study journey. And this is very important. The more pressure you don't the less pressure, the more you are able to focus on the very important things, which is your study, and that's your primary goal in that location. So we have a lot of public universities there, and they are top public universities. Affordable doesn't mean it is low standard. They are world class, education, but they are really subsidized by the government, which helps to, it makes them a good location for international students that are really low on funding. So I've got some of the universities here. We've got Sorbonne University, Université PSL, Université de Lyon, Université Grenoble-Alpes. All of these universities are public universities, and they have low tuition. They are highly subsidized by the government. So if you research these universities, you will be able to get low tuition there. So we also have major scholarships in France. If this interests you, you can note it down. We have the Eiffel Excellence Scholarship Program, and most of the time is fully funded. When they say scholarship is fully funded, it means that they're going to pay for everything. Every cost incurred towards that program will be covered. It covers monthly stipends and travel and insurance. Which explained even most of the location in Europe require that you buy an insurance, health insurance. Even if you're going to do a tourist visit, if you're on a tourist visa, which means you're going to visit in those locations, you need an health insurance. So if you're going to study, you also need an health insurance, because you'll be staying here for a long time, and we can't say for those time, you cannot be sure that you won't need medical attention. So if you fall sick, so anything happens to you, your health will be covered. You cannot afford to pay for medical expenses out of pocket. Is a lot. So it is one of the requirements. If you're going to Europe, you need to buy health insurance, to be able to go. So for this scholarship, fully funded, covers monthly stipends, travel, health insurance. It is highly competitive though, but it requires strong academic profile. So if you're somebody that you have first class 2-1 and you are able to, support this with strong documentation, then this is for you. The second one is Campus France Scholarship. It manages multiple government scholarships and guides students through application. And there are other regional scholarships offered by French regions and universities. And these are more accessible for French taught programs. So if you're looking for scholarship in French, I will also enjoin you to try to learn French. Don't make the mistake. There are so many other courses available that are English taught. So don't be afraid. Don't fret at all, thinking that, oh, you need to really understand French to be able to go to France. No, they speak English well there, and there are so many courses that are taught in English. All you need to do is do your research and say, I've given you about 3-4 universities that you can go research them out, and they are taught in French. So sorry, they're taught in English. So they have scholarships. So you should go check those ones out. So let's talk about how French gives you an advantage in France. So if you are able to speak French and English, definitely we know there's so many scholarships for English speaking, English, for courses taught in English and courses taught in French. So if you're able to speak these two languages, it means that you have more opportunities to more courses. You have wider options, so to speak. You are not boxed into just English, or you're boxed into just French courses. You have the opportunity to apply to as many courses as possible, as many schools as possible, which also opens you up to more scholarship opportunities. Reduced tuition in some universities. While not all universities give scholarship, some of them give partial scholarship. So you can't be sure that you're going to get fully fund fully get fully funded scholarship in some places, but then you can also get partial funding, which brings down what you're going to spend to the barest minimum. So it's also worth taking. Higher scholarship eligibility, better chances for jobs, internship, and integration and residency opportunities. I say it a lot of times. Going to international study is not directly uh, corresponding, or is not directly proportionate to residency, but this is something that is available if you understand how it works. No country will say because you've studied here, we will give you residency. I don't know of any anyway, if there are, but I understand that if you are there, you've studied there, you are able to position yourself for permanent residency or temporary residency, whichever one you are interested in. Okay, so let's go to Quebec. Quebec is a province in Canada, but they speak French. They speak both French and English. Okay, so if you go to Quebec, you are able to see English speaking people that don't understand French and are doing well in Quebec. You're also able to see people that are French speakers. You're able to see bilingual people, which means people that are able to speak French and English. But this location gives more preference to French speakers. So, food for thought. If you have a child, or you're thinking about moving abroad for yourself or for your child, you need to start to think bilingual. You know, start to think about giving your child the opportunity to be able to speak more than one language, two languages, three languages. Okay, you need to be able to speak more than one international language, meaning they're able to speak two international languages, because it opened them to more opportunities. It opened them to more, you know, scholarship, more job opportunities, more scholarship opportunities, and so on and so forth. So in Quebec, the tuition is lower than other Canadian universities. So if you get an admission, you get to pay less in Quebec than what you would pay in other Canadian provinces. Now, apart from that, French is also an icing on the cake here because French speakers that international students sometimes qualify for exemption, tuition exemption. How beautiful can that be? This means if you're able to speak French and you're an international student in Quebec, you have the possibility of getting tuition exemption. You also have access to Canadian postgraduate work permits. So if you're thinking about destination for international study, I think we should be thinking about Quebec. You pay less and you also get settled almost immediately when it comes to immigration. Now, these are the affordable Quebec universities. We have Université de Montréal, Université Laval, Université du Québec à Montréal. So scholarships in Quebec, we have scholarship for masters and PhD. We have other merit scholarship for foreign students. So this one is targeted at foreign students especially. Do you know that there are a lot of funding available in all these countries that are not being accessed by anybody? Year in, year out, there is funding available in universities that are not being accessed by anybody. But what is the barrier between people and this funding? It is information, and that is what I'm bringing to you. There's so many funding line in all of these countries, and then you will look away because I'm not able to speak the language. How about training yourself to speak this language? How about learning this language? How about training your children from a very young age to speak, other languages? Because if you are able to do it, it's like the biggest hurdle that reach to these opportunities. You'll be able to access this and will be the beginning of a lot of opportunities coming your way. So we can see that Quebec especially picks foreign students and they're targeting them for scholarships, for grants. If you're not doing research courses, they are going to also be giving monthly stipends. There are also university level scholarship. Many French taught programs offer partial funding. Teacher and research assistant positions also available, and this most of the time it comes in as your earnings and also reduces the funds you need to pay to the university. When French increases funding chances, when you learn French, you increase your funding chances. You have access to university public university systems. You are eligible for government funded scholarships. You have competitive edge over other english only applicants, and I've said all of this before. You are able to compete better than when you were only speaking one language. If you're not interested in speaking French, it doesn't mean you are not, able to qualify for these scholarships. But when you're able to speak, you are fighting at an advantage. You are applying from a place of advantage. Before they look at somebody, before they consider somebody with English only, they will consider a bilingual person from, and it goes across all sectors in the country. if you're looking for a job, a bilingual person is more qualified than an English only person, candidate, which is, makes all the difference. You will also see this in the remuneration. If you're paying an English person £10, they will pay a bilingual person between 15 and £20. It's almost always almost double. So those are the reasons why you need, to increase your chances. If you don't have money, then you should be having skills. You can't be lacking in two places. If you don't have the money, then you should make it up with skills. A language skill is one of the things you can do. So what are the strategy we recommend at Grand Vantage for people looking to these destinations? Number one, invest in French proficiency. At Grand Vantage, we teach French to people that are willing to relocate and other skills that you need to prepare you for the life outside your home country. So target public universities. When you're doing your research, don't go to private. Make sure that that university you're applying to is a public university. When you want to start, research out 3 to 5 universities and look at their requirements, get all the requirements in place, and then you start to apply. Avoid avoid expensive schools. Focus on state-funded institutions. So apply for government scholarship first. Some schools would say, oh, once you apply, you don't need to apply for the scholarship separately. And other schools will require you to apply for your course and also apply for scholarship. You need to be to understand the requirement of the school that you're going to. You need to check and be sure what they want, and if they want you to apply for just a course and you'll be considered straight away, or if you require to apply separately. So look for the government scholarship, apply for those ones first, and then you can now start to look at all the other regional scholarships or institution scholarship that are available to you. Then when you are applying, you need to choose high demand courses. Don't go for just any course. Choose STEM courses, choose public policy courses, choose courses in AI and data science, because they are the in-demand sectors right now. Choose courses in health. They never run out of jobs. So you want to choose a course that at the end of your studies, employers are looking for you. They are begging you to work for them. So who are the people that should take this pathway? If you're a student looking for developing countries seeking affordable education, just like we said, you're not able to afford the big four and you still want international study, then this is for you. If you're aiming for funded masters or PhD, this is very appropriate for you. If you think that you are open to learn a new language, this might be something for you. And then finally, I want to say that France will give you low tuition and will give you government support. Quebec will give you a Canadian degree and immigration opportunities. Yours is to decide, which one it will be for you. French language proficiency transform these destinations from affordable to strategically funded. So if we are just, an English person is just affordable, that's fine. But by the time you add French to it, you get the icing of the cake. You are strategically positioned to be funded and to remain in that place for as long as you want. Yours is to decide what you want to pick. Okay, so this is Grab and Touch. We like to give information, resources to people that are willing to study abroad or willing to relocate abroad, and we have different ways by which we support people with skills that will help them to do well when they travel abroad. One of these skills is the language skills, which is French language, which we teach. If you're interested in learning French language, you need to get in touch with us. If you're interested in applying for any of these schools and you need any kind of support, if you need any kind of clarification, send us a message and we will be able, to help you. This is where I'll be saying goodbye today. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has given you some clarity. I hope that with this information, you will be able to move forward with your study abroad dream. I remain Ola and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.